Where'd you get off on the petrol thing? You've obviously got issues. Where did they come from?
Well, I'm going to tell you. What's his name?
Derek.
Derek? Okay. I was conceived in a tow truck, okay?
That's a blues song, isn't it?
Yeah, it was a country western, actually, you know? I got the gold mine, you got the shaft. It was my dad was always in motor cars. He was a master sergeant of motor divisions, World War II. He was, a mechanic, and then had his own garage in Brooklyn, right out of Ebbets Field, where the Dodgers used to play. And the balls, when they would hit them really far, every now and then a ball would bounce off the station tarmac. I used to work there in the summers, pumping gas, and then you had to check the tires, check the oil, clean the window, and it was part of the service. Now we all pump our own gas. They figured out how to get us to do that. Isn't it amazing? But anyway, and for more money, we pay more to do it ourselves. What's going on? You see, anything has to do with this. It gets me crazy. I think about when I was talking about in the Trial and Retribution interview was about the mayor and the congestion charge and getting ripped off. It's getting robbed at every red light, overcharged for everything already. Parking is ridiculous. It shouldn't cost, the same as parts for your car, and the penalty for missing it when you're a minute late, 80 pounds, 100 pounds, and then they clamp you for another 215 pounds. What that feeling when you watch your car being towed away on that truck, right? Or you see that yellow thing on your wheel. It's like, I want to become like a warden assassin. I want to go out there and do something about it. And this is just an example. Okay, I'm getting a little carried away here. The rant and rave. Love.
I think you're paying £1 for 10 minutes parking somewhere in Chelsea.
Well, it's even more in other places. And when I used to do Jerry Springer the Opera, to find a place, then to park, and I put the money in the meter. One time I only had £1 in my pocket. So I put that in, and I bought like 6 minutes, I think it was, and I put that on the dash, and I saw the warden, and I said, listen, I don't have any change. I put it in there, I'm going to go get, he said, well, hurry up, you got 6 minutes. I ran to the bank. I got change. I had to buy something because I didn't have a change for the meter, so I actually had to buy a bottle of water, ran back, then put in the extra hour and 10 minutes that I needed, and put that on the dash. I did the show, I came out. Not only did I have a ticket, I had a clamp, which cost me 215 pounds to get that off, plus the ticket was another 100 or 80. And I said, what is going on here? Well, you double, what do they call it? Like you bought 2 tickets. There's no contiguous. Well, I said, wait a second. It's still under the maximum of 2 hours, which is what the biggest sign on that paying display is. And then I had to go to court and fight it in court with the judge and the arbitrator. So that was another congestion charge I had to pay, plus another parking, plus I'm in there, and she said, well, I'm going to award you 50%. I said, I'm half right? But that's what, I'm at war with the whole thing. I was down in London, I was doing a show, a remake of Bewitched, the old series with Elizabeth Montgomery, just a wiggle her nose, she was a witch. And it's for the BBC, made by Sony, and I was a guest, sort of an American dog of a guy. You'll get that when you see it. But it was a wonderful cast, and really good fun, and we had rehearsal in a place called Hackney. Now, when I put that into my sat-nav, it said, sorry, don't go there. But I had to drive cross town. It wasn't easy. It was a tough drive for rehearsal to this place. And then about 6 o'clock, we're released, and I'm driving back, and the sign says, London Center, left. So I turn left. And I realized right away that I should have turned behind the sign, after the sign, not before the sign. So I made an immediate U-turn. I come back, I get back on the road, I make my way home. 2 days later, congestion charge for, 120 pounds for making a left turn for 50 feet. That's not fair. It's like, we can't make mistakes anymore. We're going to get it like right off the bat. You wear the wrong socks, you're out of here. It just doesn't make sense. It got me a little bit angry. Anyway, sometimes I get a little bit upset with things. Constant battles with every time I go into London, I get a ticket. I just got one where they rejected I have a broken foot, okay? I've had a broken foot for 8 months. So I I go to the hospital to get a new x-ray every month. I go to see the doctor. So I make sure I park in the closest spot I can legally, right? They have the new thing now with the telephone that you book your time for parking over the phone. So I book in 2 hours, right? 120 minutes. And I hobble down the street. I go in, I get my x-ray. I see the doctor, and he gives me this stuff about, I think you're healed. I said, did you see me walk in? I'm limping. I'm dragging a leg. I don't think I'm healed. And he said, no, I think that's not connected. Not connected. I didn't limp before I broke my foot, right? So anyway, I get back to the car, and there's a ticket. Now, if you send it in early, it's 60 pounds, right? So I send a letter saying, no, there's no reason for this ticket. I booked all the minutes. They said, no, it only recorded 1 minute. I said, well, that's not my problem, is it? It's your problem. It's your technology. I said, they said, if you pay now, if you pay early, we'll give you the discount. I said, I have no plans to pay a discount. I have no plans to pay this at all because this is your technology. I pushed it in. Do you think 1 minute I couldn't get to the corner in 1 minute? And I've got 2 hours worth of stuff to do. This is what I did. It was confirmed, and it's your problem. They rejected my reasoning, and I said, I reject your rejection. And that's the way it goes. And I mean, I'm fighting for a 40-pound overcharge on a parking penalty, okay? I mean, which has made me, they said, you have to email us, or I know, I do, and it says, 3-hour overtime, sorry, no message. That's happened about 40 times now, okay? Then I call in again, and I get pushing buttons. No, I'm sorry, you're going to have to mail in. I write in. They come back, it's about a whole different thing. So they owe me money. I'm being beat for it. They said, yeah, you shouldn't have been charged twice, but it was because of the postal strike. They got my check late, so they wanted the full amount. And I don't know about you, but technology is just killing me. I'm wasting my life trying to communicate to people, and all I'm getting is robots or people who don't speak English, and I go, I'm sorry, could I have someone who speaks English? I am speaking. Anyway, okay. So, it's just like not worth it. It's like it was supposed to make it easier, but it's not.